Okay. So what I wanted to do is today I wanted to talk about going for no. And, I downloaded Audible, and what you can do with Audible is really cool because you can have a monthly subscription, and then you get at least one free. I'm going to go and mute some people. Sorry. Or go ahead and mute yourself so then you can easily unmute you when you want to talk. So, but basically, if you subscribe to Audible, it's an app. You get one free credit to download a book each month, and I really love that. And so basically what I did was 2 days ago, I downloaded the Go for No, and I listened to it for like maybe 20 minutes yesterday, and then the rest of today, I listened to the entire book, and it was awesome. And I've heard it so many times. I don't know if any of you have read it, but the audiobook is even really cool because it's actually kind of written as a story. But it has such a great something that a lot of times, sometimes I do personal development. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome, but I've heard it before. And this one, yes, I've heard it before, but it was like a whole nother meaning. It really hit home. So basically with Go for No, he is telling a story how he woke up one day and he kind of time traveled and sees that he is seeing himself in 10 years, and it's a totally different track than himself would have been taking. So basically, he goes through and they try to figure out what the one difference was that kind of set them apart for like what happened to change their crossing of paths, and how one is at a different place than the other one is. And so when he was just out of college, he was a suit salesman, and he had like one of the big guys from the corporation came in, and he said, he made this awesome sale. He sold like $1,100 worth of suit. He was all excited. And the big guy came up to him and he said, okay, well, that's awesome, but what did that customer say no to? And he was like, what do you mean? What did he say no to? He bought a blazer. He bought socks. He bought this. He bought this. And he's like, yeah, but what did he say no to? And he was like, well, nothing. And the guy was like, that's because you decided that the sale was over. And when the one part of him, he just kind of like brushed it off, and then his sales went down. He actually ended up getting fired. And then the other one, he took that and really, really kind of ran with it and was, the top salesman. And so basically he said, well, I had never made a purchase more than $1,000. So I just kind of figured he was done, And so the guy was saying like, no, you need to, keep asking, you need to keep going. And you don't decide when somebody says no, they're going to say it, but you need to keep asking them. So I love the book so much because basically how I can put this into action is, let me see if I don't know how to change the view. Oh, that's what I wanted. Okay. Okay, so basically what he did to put into action was the more people that you talk to, the more no's you're going to get, but the more yeses that you're going to get. So if you're reaching out to 3 to 5 people a day, turn that into 8 to 10 people a day. And hold on, I'm just going to I'm super distracted. Melissa, mute yourself. I can't figure it out.
Am I muted?
No.
Oh, for the love, guys. Sorry. I don't even know how to do that.
Continue. I muted you all. You're all muted. Okay. And now I can't get this out. I'm sorry. I'm still playing with this. So, okay, so if you're normally talking to 3 to 5 people, you are going to put that and change that to talking to 8 to 10 people, because you may, if you're talking to 3 to 5 people a day and you're like, okay, I'm hitting Success Club 5, maybe having 6, then, so that's 3 sales a month. Well, what if you turn that into 8 to 10? That would be at least, 6 to 8 sales a month. So I love, love, love this because you just want to invite everyone after in building the relationship. You don't want to pass judgment on anybody. Oh, they're too fit already. They don't need this. Or, oh, they're so successful at their job. They don't want to do coaching. Or, oh, I don't even really know that person. She's not going to want to, buy this from me. It's all about building relationships. And as you build relationships, the more that you can get people, to really say like, okay, well, I trust you. So tell me what this is that you're doing, and being consistent and doing the 3 vital behaviors. So I want you to put into action and take your 3 to 5 and see when you can turn it into 8 to 10. It's not going to be every day. I know that, but the more that you can increase the amount of people you get in front of, the more no's you're going to get, but the more yeses you're going to get at the end of the month. So I couldn't even tell you that so many people are afraid to reach out to 3 to 5 people. They think it's weird. They think that, why am I going to message people? Well, if it's weird for you and you're afraid to do it, I'm telling you, you're not going to build your business, and you're not going to be where you want to be. You're not going to be where you want to be a year from now if you're afraid to reach out to people. You just have to get over it. What's the worst they could say? What? Not respond? Okay, cool. You weren't talking to them before, so you need to get over that. Most people are going to be like, oh my gosh, it's so good to catch up. How are you? People aren't just rude and ruthless, and you're basically, if you're on our team, you're generally a good person. Like, we don't attract people that are like mean and nasty, and people don't want to help people that are, just not nice. Like, usually that's just not the case. So, people genuinely probably really like what you're putting out there, the positivity. And there's some people that don't. I don't care. Like, I've told you 1,000 times, Melissa and my sister literally like blocks us on Facebook because motivational stuff rubs her the wrong way. Okay, cool. But I've got a lot of other people that do appreciate it and actually look forward to seeing it. And Samantha, you are killing me right now. You go, girl. She's just over there on her treadmill or elliptical right now. Okay. So I want you, and it sounds crazy, but I actually am really going to do this. I want you to start writing down when people tell you no. And just as much as you're keeping track, like, okay, she bought a challenge pack. Okay. So you want to have that all written down so that you can look back and see what day, who bought, how many Success Club points you have. But I want you to write down the people that say no. And if you look at it at the end of the month, instead of being like, my goal was to hit Success Club 6, so 3 sales, instead of looking at it like, I want 3 sales by next Wednesday night, I want you to go for 20 no's by next Wednesday night. Because even if you have a 10% closing ratio, which sucks, but that's probably a lot of us probably sometimes, even if you have a 10% closing ratio, that's still 2 sales. So that's still 4 Success Club points in a week. So if you get 20 no's for 4 weeks, oh my gosh, 4, 8, 10, 12 Success Club points, I think. What did I just say? Yeah. So no, what did I just say? I had it written down because I knew I was going to screw it up. Okay. Keep track. Okay. So if you get 20 no's, you will still get 2 yeses, which is 4 Success Club points, which is 16 Success Club points. Obviously, it doesn't take a mathematician to be a coach. I've proved that so many times that anybody can do it. So, yeah, I want you to write down everyone you talk to, and I don't care if you have a yes column, a no column, but I want you to write down all the no's. And I want you to go for no's, because one of the most powerful things from this book was there was a company, and they hired like a really big guy to come and do, personal development, because they were on average, they were only closing 2.5 sales per person per month, which is pretty terrible for, a company. 2.5 sales per person per month is nothing to brag about. So what they had them do was, I think they were selling life insurance. What they had them do was go door to door. And instead of making calls, they were going door to door, and they had to use this line. You don't want to buy life insurance, do you? Like, that sounds terrible. That sounds like the worst way to try to sell something. Like, you don't want this, right? So in 8 hours, they were able to talk to 60 people, and 59 people made it was really easy for them to just say, no, I don't, get lost. And for every one person out of 60, they said, actually, I do need some life insurance. Come on in. Let me tell me about it. So that sounds pretty crappy, 1 in 60. But that means that every day they were going out and they were talking to 60 people and getting 1 yes. So every day they're getting 1 yes versus 2.5 sales on average for the entire month when they were just going that way. So, that to me was like at a point I was like, that's so true. How many people are on my list that I kind of just like, oh, I'll talk to them later, or I haven't followed up with them, or they told me no 6 months ago, so I don't respond to them. No does not mean no for good. It means not right now. So you need to go through and follow up those people. If they tell you no, they might be off your radar for that month, but don't write them off completely, because priorities change, people change, and people finally, after seeing something that's worked and they see other people losing weight and feeling awesome about it, they're going to realize like, okay, maybe this is something I should try, or maybe I do have a little bit extra money, or maybe swimsuit season is more important to me than focusing on, buying that pair of shoes. So, so they'll spend the money, to join us. So don't write anybody off. Don't prejudge people, and don't say, no, they said no before, I'm not going to reach out to them again. And always keep those people that say no on your radar by keeping them in your free groups, following up with them. And don't say, oh, they're not paying me, so they're not a customer. They're still a potential customer, and you need to add value to them, and keep them in our free groups. Another thing I really loved is in the book, they said that their company gave away an award at the end of the year at the banquet, and they gave away an award for those who had the most rejection. Like, wow, you failed the most, cool, and like, so it was funny because they were like, that's like so embarrassing. And they put it, and when they said when he came back down, he put it down right next to the trophy for the most sales that year. So it's so true that if you are going to talk to more people, you're going to get more no's, but you're going to get more yeses. And I know that you've heard that, about Babe Ruth, how many times he freaking struck out, but has the home run record, for years. And another thing I learned from this book today was really cool, was the inventor of airbags. So he approached companies and for 20 years got told no. And so then finally got to Congress, and, they finally passed it that it should happen, but it still took another 10 years before it actually got put into place. So he spent 30 years of getting no's and then made like $120 million. So basically, they were kind of doing math, and I'm just going by memory. I'm definitely not doing math, but they were like, so you could look at it as he spent 30 years getting no's, or that he got paid $4 million a year to get a no, so, it's really cool to kind of think about it. Like, if he would have given up, like think about, it would the safety of people that he was pushing for, his family's security was just taken care of because he was consistent. It's, his goals and his dreams were able to come true because he followed through with it, and he didn't let a no stop him. And people take it so personally a lot with our business, like, oh, they said no, or, oh, they said no, and then they bought it off Amazon. Like, shit happens. I'm sorry, it happens. People don't realize, like, you are going to take it to heart. They're just like, I'm saving $10. Who cares? And that's what you need to get out of your head. I have some people that bounce around to different Beachbody coaches, whoever's offering this or offering that. They don't realize this is about a relationship, and it hurts my feelings if you think that I see you commenting on her stuff, And that's another reason why it's really big to talk, when you do talk to people, check their mutual friends and see, if I barely know somebody and she's got a mutual friend with somebody else, I'm going to, talk to that person and see if they've been working with them or things like that. Because, I don't want to just swoop in for the kill if somebody else has been talking to them forever. It's not to say that you need to throw everyone away because you have so many mutual friends. I mean, that's like me and my sister, or some of the coaches that are from my hometown or work together. We have a ton of mutual friends. But just if I've been working with somebody for a year and they have mutual friends, that's not something for me to be like, oh, well, I see you're Facebook friends with so-and-so, so go to them. You can decide when it's appropriate or not. But yeah, so many of those things, I was like, I really do want, if I have so many things that people that I need to follow up with, that I'm just like, oh, I doubt that they'll be interested. And it's in my own head. I'm like, stop it. Just go talk to them. The more no's that you get, the more yeses you're going to get. And that comes down to messaging, and you just need to eat that frog. If it's something that you put off, do it first thing in the morning. Sometimes I send my messages before I even get out of bed. Because that's something for me, I tend to put off, and I'm like, this is like seriously probably the biggest money producing thing that you can do for your business. Why do you go, like, I think I went Saturday and Sunday. I don't think I really did much at all. And I'm like, if you were going to do the bare minimum, that's what you should be doing, you know? So just make sure that you are figuring out what you're putting off, and make sure that you're doing it. Think about the 5 biggest things that you can do in your business that are going to, you know, make you successful and build you money. That's messaging people. That's inviting them to our challenge groups. That's posting about challenge groups once a week at least. That's posting about coaching once a week. And even if it's not like message me for details, it can just be like, like Katie Green had a great post today. She was going to pay for a trip that she was planning, and she said like, hand me my card or something, and her husband like goes and, you know, and she's like, no, my card. And it was something that was just for her business, and he's like, wait, what? You have enough money in there to, you know, book it? And she made a post about it, and that's huge. Like, you know, and so many people just need to see that. I don't care if it's your freaking gas tank, your electric bill, like your pet food. It does not matter how small or large, just post about it every once in a while. Like I'm doing things like that every once in a while. It's not like message me for details, but it's like, I freaking love my job, because I truly, truly do. And I get people, when I'm reaching out to them, they're like, you make it sound so fun. Like, I really do want to know what you do, because you're consistently not just like, message me for more details, but just matter of factly, I freaking love my job. It's awesome. You know, and I think that is something else that you really need to get across. Everyone's frozen. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, so post, messaging, inviting, and just being very consistent with your posting and motivation. And those are, you know, some of those things that, and obviously being a product of the product and personal development, you know, those 3. But those, it's not brain surgery. You just have to do it. I don't care if it's 15 minutes here, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes here. The point is, if you have 15 minutes, don't scroll through Facebook and Instagram and be like, well, I made a post, so that counts. Making a post shouldn't take you 15 minutes. Like, get it done and send your messages and, you know, check some things off your to-do list. And then another thing in the book, they said, like, some studies show that it takes people 4 times to say no before they say yes. So just another thing that goes and shows through, especially with coaching, if somebody's like, okay, so what is it about it that you're just kind of like, I just don't know. I want to know why they're saying no or not right now, so that I can give them another exposure. As you talk to people about coaching, it's just getting them from one exposure to the next. And that's like your main goal. It may not be yes. There's so many people. Think about you. You may have been the person that's like, let me think about it. Let me research about it. Let me pray about it. Let me Google it. Let me do this, you know, or Alicia, or you could be like me. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Sign me up. How do I do it? Here's my credit card. So everybody is different, and you have to know that. And we love when we get the goobers like me that are like, okay, let's do it. But, you know, everybody's different. So just know that it's, you know, figure out what it is that's kind of scaring them. And if they're like, well, I did Mary Kay before, or I did this in the past, it's like, okay. So it sounds like you had, you know, an experience with that, or it sounds like, you know, you had a story about why it didn't work. What was it that, you know, didn't work for you? Find out why they're worried or why they're scared, so that you can point out how it'll be different with us. Let's see. Okay. And then the other thing that I've said a lot of times, and it's just so true, is think about your why, and know that your why is always changing. So write them out somewhere where you're going to see it all the time. You know, you can even go to like canva.com or picmonkey.com and make a cute little graphic and make it like the background of your computer and your why list. And it could be cute. You can add graphics, you can do whatever, but put it somewhere where you're going to see it. Because if it's in your phone, that doesn't do anything. So, and you know that it's always changing. changing. At first mine was to quit my job to pay for my wedding. Okay, I did that. Now it's changed. And so what I want to do is I want to make it my screensaver so that when I turn on my computer, I realize I need to do this to build my business and not to sit there and scroll through Facebook for 20 minutes. And I really want you to think about what your biggest distraction is. Is it distraction? Is it, procrastination? Is it not seeing the big picture? What is it? Figure out what it is and just kind of like, can it? Like if you know that you have 3 things to do, set a timer on your phone and get it done. And that's the biggest thing. When you're busy, things happen. But if you set a timer, put your phone on airplane, get it done, and you're going to be so much more productive. So just realize that, think about the things, again, that are going to be the biggest things that are going to move your business forward, and do that. That's talking to coaches and prospective coaches, and talking to your coaches if you have a team, and talking to your coaches, and know that it is not just about you. Once you start getting people, it's not about your success club. It's not about your recognition. It's about you pushing your coaches to have that, why, and to help them and help them help their coaches as well. And the biggest thing is just like document every day. Like at the very least, if you don't know what to post sometimes, just like talk about what you're doing in your fitness. And sometimes it just needs to be real. It doesn't need to be this huge long paragraph. I'm guilty of super long posts a lot. And I think that sometimes people are just like, oh, I don't want to read that right now. So just kind of like be real, and if you're struggling, and Danny right now with pregnancy is having a lot of issues, trying to get across the point of I want a healthy pregnancy, and people are just like, oh, relax, you're growing a human, do what you want. And people don't understand, like, if I was taking good care of my body before I was pregnant, there's no way in hell I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm growing another person that I'm responsible for their well-being. Let me eat pizza and donuts all day, and who needs to work out? Like, yes, you need to listen to your body, but if you're going to be in charge of you and thinking about you as a person and your health, why the heck aren't you going to be caring even more when you're responsible, for somebody else? So, and she was saying that she was struggling with that, and, making sure that she's getting that across. And I think that's an awesome thing. She has a whole new target market now. And so think about your target market and think about what people that you can, relate to. And Alicia, you and Molly, I love the, you can literally make posts to people that are in the restaurant business. Like, are you sick of eating whatever the freak you see in front of you and at work because you get the 15% discount and, things like that. But, make posts, and I really try to start them with a question that's going to grab people's attention to make them stop and be like, yes. Like, have you ever stood in front of your closet and looked and said, I don't want to put any of this on because I don't feel comfortable in any of it? Things that people are at least one person is going to stop and be like, oh my gosh, yes, what else does she have to say? Can she help me? So I really want you to focus on thinking about your target market and targeting them, not just like, hey guys, like everyone, because you don't want everyone. You want to help those specific women. I have one friend that she is a mom, and she was in the corporate world, and she's, she just kind of used to cast out a huge net. And now she's like, I want moms that want to quit their job. I want corporate moms that are sick of their 9-to-5, that are sick of the commute, that are sick of knowing that somebody else is watching their kid at home and want to make this their full-time job. And I think that's amazing. And people are scared to do that because that's such a little market. No, it's not, because like attracts like, and you have so many people that are just like you that you don't even know, because about probably over 50% of my clients and customers are people that if I went through my Facebook and cleaned it out of people that I didn't think I'd ever talk to again, I would not have most of my coaches and customers, honestly. It's people that and people that are cold market, which is not like your hot market, is like people that if you're stranded at 1 a.m. would come pick you up. Warm market is like mutual friends, things like that. Cold market is people that you really barely know, or maybe a lead or something, a referral or a friend of a friend. Those people are actually easiest to influence, because if you're putting out positivity and that's all they see from you and that's what they're going by, they're going to say, dude, this person's posts are awesome. Like, I freaking love this girl, and I don't even really know her. I need to reach out. I have so many messages when people are like, this is probably kind of awkward, weird, because I know we don't really know each other. And then it'll be like a novel this long, like telling me their life story and why they need my help. And it makes me so happy, because that was a lot. And I always tell them, thank you so much. I know that took like some balls to tell me, because you know, it's kind of scary to put yourself out there when you're not really, you know, close with somebody, but I just appreciate it so much. And I just respect you so much for that. That little comment right there automatically is like, whew, okay, I really like this girl. So know that when people are reaching out to you, you know, you always need to be reaching out to people. When people come to you, like, freaking commend them, because that's huge, because that takes, honestly, that's probably them have probably looked at you for at least a week, or usually more, before they're actually like, I just need a messenger. I just need to do it. So that's another way to build relationships. I just thought of this. Alexa, what she always does is when she goes through her birthdays, and if it's anybody's birthday, she sends them a personal message and, hey girl, happy birthday, da, 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 like catching up. That's perfect. If you don't know who to talk to, that's a perfect way. You know, it's so much more personal than anybody else, just, you know, happy B-Day on their wall. And that's a great way to just kind of, so what are you doing? What's your birthday plans? Yada, yada. And then catch up. And then from there. So I've started doing that too. I love that tip. That's awesome. So yeah, so that was kind of, I just really love the writing down the no's. And instead of going for 3 sales in a week, go for 20 no's, and you're going to be so much more successful, because, you know, you're just going to see so many more people talking to, and maybe their no's, okay, fine. And that doesn't mean not right now. It doesn't mean no forever. It just means not right now. So do your PD, and, you know, find a different book. And if you need something, you know, ask us. Another one I'm going to look into is How to Win Friends and Influence People, Success Principles, Slight Edge. Those are the 3 that I had on my book. Another one is 45-second presentation. And I haven't looked at that yet, but there's a file in our group that I believe gives you access to the audio version of that too. So, but yeah, just make it happen. I don't care if it's a national wake-up call, Chalene Johnson's podcast, whatever it is, but it just kind of like makes a fire inside you, which, like, you can still be successful at your business, but it's not going to be consistently growing at the level as with consistent personal development. Okay, so that's kind of all I wanted to say, but now I want to talk about challenge groups. So I'm going to unmute you all, and if you want to, okay, if you want to unmute yourself to talk, you can. Or I think I unmuted most of you. So basically, the first thing I want to talk about is our clean eating group. There's like 1,000 freaking people in there. I think we need to start a new group. And I'll just upload the meal plan, and then it should be once a week. It can still be ongoing if you want. I don't think that it should be a huge time commitment or anything like that, but I would like to get like a committee of people that are just like, okay, it's clean eating group. We're going to make sure that we make that group active. So if anybody wants to do that, just, you know, let me know. But what I'm thinking is starting a new group. And we can post in the group. Anybody that wants to join us, this group has really gotten very large, and we definitely don't have everybody interacting. So we want to start another one for people that really are interested in keeping this, you know, a regular thing and want to join us again. The other thing is that I think that we should probably change it from the first week of the month to either the second or third week. Does anybody have any feedback on that? What is the Biggest Loser, the third Monday or the first Monday?
I don't know.
Let me see. Can you get on the Run Pink? Oh, I don't know if that's not.
It's the first.
First, okay. I should know that. Okay, so Biggest Loser is the first Monday. So, I don't know. I say second or third. Does anybody? Because then we can also promote it in there. Maybe we should go with the 3rd, and then we can promote the 21-day fix at the end of it, and then that would give them enough time to order it and get in for our first Monday of the month with Biggest Loser. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay. So we'll go with 3rd Monday of the month for clean eating. And I'm saying this, but I'm not going to be, it's not going to happen if I'm the only one in charge of it. I just know it won't. So hopefully we'll get some people to weigh in on this. And then I don't know if you have any thoughts to it, but I just basically want it not to be so overwhelming, because sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, there's 1,000 people in here. I don't know if I want them all seeing what I post and things like that. So yeah, I kind of want to get like a committee for each group that we run, so somebody is kind of in charge of it, so it helps us with understanding. Like the coach sneak peek, Sarah's kind of taken the reins for that. She kind of figures out, asks people who's going to post and help posting and things like that. And so the new group once a month, I think I've got a committee for that. I know Courtney, probably Leah, just because she always does the graphic, and then there was a couple other people in there. So yeah, just let me know if you want to be on any of those, and then you guys will just kind of run it from here on out.
April.
Yeah.
Are we going to still redo the videos, you and I?
I think so.
Okay. It's still on my to-do list. I just didn't, when is it? 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's
The 3rd Monday?
yeah.
Okay.
And
I'll get it done.
I don't think we ever got our Cancun video up there. I don't know. I don't remember last time. So we gotta.
No, we did. It was in there.
Oh, it was? Okay, missed that.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
But yeah, okay. I got that on my list. I'll do that.
Yeah, and we'll chat about that too, because I think I lost that note of which ones I were supposed to do, so I'm gonna figure that out with you again.
Okay, I have mine written down.
Okay. All right. And in our free groups, they've been successful, but we don't really promote stuff. And I feel like we need to take more advantage of that, not being like, hey, buy our stuff, but posting pictures of our Shakeology and posting video. If you're posting a video or a picture of you doing 21-day fix or something, always post it into our free groups too, and talk about that, or talk about your workouts of 21-day fix and how you kicked your butt, or 3-week fitness and nutrition boot camp. I really think that we need to do a better job at plugging it, and not just like day 2 done, like see how we can really capitalize on that. Ask questions here and there, get people involved. Just the more active we can make it, the more people are going to get to know and trust us and want to be a part of the other things that we're doing too. So I think we should really try to take this and take it as a very, an awesome accountability group, and do a little more than just day 2 done and things like that. Our sample shake group went really well. Alicia and Molly did a great job at that. And Alicia, did you sell anything out of that? Were you able to lock down any of those girls?
No, not yet. And one of them had already bought a bag, so she actually was just going off of her bag during the shake challenge. And then the other girl that bought the sample pack, she really liked it, but I don't know. She's a college student, and I haven't really, I've made small talk with her, but she hasn't really said that she wants to buy a whole bag, but she loved it.
Okay.
She really did love it.
I would talk to her about the coaching for the discount, and start talking to her about that.
Okay.
I know Molly sold a challenge pack. I sold a Shakeology. I didn't get to talk to her. She didn't buy the challenge pack, but her next pack, she's actually going to sign up as a coach because she loved it so much. So I do really like those groups. The 21-day fix group. Now this is what I want to talk about. I know it was Krista and maybe Alicia. I don't remember who all was in here. This is an awesome, and they've said this before on a challenge, national wake-up call. But what they do is the first week that they get in there, they basically say, the first week they say, okay, we're going to talk about meal prepping. We're going to talk about recipes. We're going to talk about any questions you have, preparation, things like that. Some people may be exercising a little bit, but it's not so much like jump in. And for me, that's like, oh, I just want people to get started. That sounds awful. But I have a girlfriend that's been doing this, and she's like, it's so successful. And there are people that still, work out and start already. But there's some people that want to feel ready and want to feel comfortable with the Tupperware and things before they just jump into it. And then week 2, we talk about the measurements and photos and things like that. Week 2 is a lot more like recipes, food solely on nutrition facts, how to read a nutrition label. We're starting to exercise and things, but the topic in week 2 is nutrition. And I think that's huge because the biggest thing I hear is, I wish there was more recipes. I wish there was more this, or I wish I understood, nutrition better. So just by giving them tips on that. And tie in Shakeology definitely about nutrition in the second week and how awesome that is. And then week 3, they do kind of like themed days. Monday, motivation. And so everyone like shares their favorite motivational quote. Tasty Tuesdays, what was for dinner tonight? And people either post or share their recipes, things like that. Not like, hey, find a intricate recipe and write it all out, but what did you have for dinner? That's easy enough for people to tell you. Water Wednesday, have a water challenge, post your water selfie. Thursday, I think is, I don't know, you can make something up, maybe transformation, who knows. And then Friday, they do a Facebook challenge. And I love this part. Okay, so it changes each week. Week 3 and then week 4, you could do it as well. But Friday Facebook challenge. So we could tell them, post a picture of your Shakeology and what it's done for you and tag me. That's huge. You either say, oh my gosh, look at all this response. You would be an awesome coach and you'd get it at a discount, or no, that's not for me. Okay, well, let me talk to your friends then. So either way, that's awesome. And then another one was like a Facebook challenge of, dang it, where did it go? I think we said, take a picture of you doing like a plank somewhere silly and, post it and then tag me so I can see it. Things like that. In the beginning of the challenge group, she kind of matches people up. She doesn't go into detail about it. She's kind of like picks people and matches them up. And then on week 4, you have to kind of be like, remember that person I matched you up with? Tag them on every, tag them on every post that you post on so we can keep each other accountable. And you guys both will get entered into like a drawing or something like that. So like for next week's challenge, like their plank picture, they're going to post in the group too and like tag them. And then at the end of the week, you can kind of announce the winners, whether it be like headbands, you can literally get stuff at the dollar store and things like that. We can do little giveaways like that. But I just love that. And then, you could even do one Friday, like transformation, post a picture of your transformation so far, no matter how big or how little, and tag me, things like that. So, and we can always do like, if support maintenance group for somebody, things like that. I don't know if that's what would be interesting to you, but basically challenge groups need to be something that people are going to be like, that was such a fun experience and I want to be a part of it again, instead of just ongoing. Okay. It needs to be something like, I want it to be like one of the best experiences ever, because how many people think of exercise is like the gym class, like, oh my gosh, I hated it. Get rid of that negative connotation and give them that positive community. So those are the tips I had. I want to get together with whoever I have a group message. So I'll tell them to listen to this recording, and hopefully you guys can make some plans together with that. But does anybody have any questions about anything?
No, not that I can think of right now.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for jumping on the call, guys. And I just want you to really take that into play, because I feel like so many times we hear things and don't really put it into perspective. But I guarantee if you write down a goal for how many no's you want each day or how many no's you want each week, you're going to see so many more yeses. So I hope that you implement that. I'm actually pretty excited. And make sure that you're hitting Success Club this month because I'll be doing another giveaway. I'll let you know what it is. Yeah, I'll post in the group. I announced the winners at the beginning of the call. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and have a good night.
Good night.